Welcome. Okay, so today, just in case you don't know who I am, I'm Samantha Kelly. I'm the founder of the Women's Inspire Network. I'm also known as Tweeting Goddess on Twitter. And what I'm going to do is I'll just tell you a little bit about the fact that I started my business 10 years ago. I was a lone parent on social welfare. I didn't know anything about social media. So if I can do this, you can do this. Okay. So if you have a business and you want to promote your business, it's really important to figure out where your audience are hanging out. Like they might not be hanging out on Twitter. They might be hanging out on Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn or Facebook. So there's so many different platforms that can be overwhelming. But the main thing to think about is, where are my audience? Where are the people that would be interested in what I have to sell, what service I can provide? Where are those people? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Twitter? So for Twitter, the demographic would be aged 35 to 55. Hi, Patricia. 35 to 55, the highest growing demographic are the over 55s. Okay, so if you want to reach that older audience and that silver dollar, I suppose we can call it, you know, people who are retired, like my mother's on Twitter, she's 73, you know, so 72 actually. No, don't want to get in trouble for that one. But definitely if you want to reach that older demographic, and a lot of people are starting businesses now, especially after the pandemic. And I'm so sorry if anyone suffered a loss during the pandemic. But one thing that was good about the pandemic is that people started finally listening to me and taking me seriously about being online. So if you're not online, you are losing out. But if you're already online, you were in a much better position than a lot of people. So when you have a business online, it's important for you to reach the people in your target audience online and build relationships. So I'm not doing a presentation today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight into Twitter. But first of all, I want to ask you in the chat, how many of you are actually on Twitter? And welcome, Geraldine. Lovely to see you. So if you want to put in the chat, if you're on Twitter already, and if you are, what I want you to do is use the hashtag WIE 2022 or 22, is it? Let me just double check that. I'm just going to double check the hashtag so I can show you what is the hashtag. It is EW, is that correct? EW. Okay, so I'll just put that in. So if it's EW 2022 and then use the hashtag Twitter Magic in your tweets, then I can show them on the screen when I start sharing my screen. Okay. So definitely, if you're on Twitter, let me know. Put it into the chat here. And there are the hashtags. So I'd like to see you doing a tweet during this presentation, even if you want to just quote something that I say or say thanks everybody for the event or whatever it is you want to say. Just use those hashtags and I'm going to show them on the screen in a minute. All right, so I'm going to share my screen now. I'm going to go into Twitter and I'm going to show you two main things today. Twitter Spaces, which is new to Twitter, which is social audio. And then I'm going to show you the newsletter feature on Twitter, because a lot of people don't know these exist yet. So you are ahead of the posse, all right? So I'm going to just share my screen, and I know Gemma and Nicole will be keeping an eye on questions and stuff. So I hope you can see my screen. So this is the hashtag that we're using today. So if I click on that hashtag, if you see a hashtag on Twitter, you just click on that and you click the latest tweets, you'll be able to see all of the tweets from people who are using that hashtag today. And over here on the left, you have home, you have, don't worry about communities for now, you have notifications, and these are the notifications of anybody who has mentioned me on Twitter. So Bishopsgate Hotel has just followed us. I think you might be here. Yes, you are, I'd say. So Bishopsgate Hotel, I click on them because they just followed me, and I'm going to follow you. And then what I do is when someone follows me, I click thank you. Thanks for the follow. And that's always nice to do because straight away you're engaging and you're building a relationship with that person who just followed you. Okay, so that's your notifications. It's anyone who's mentioned your name, tagged you, done a notification. Notifications are usually, hi Ian, lovely to see you. Ah, blessed art thou amongst women, Ian. So if you go to your notifications, you will see the Bishopsgate Hotel is going to get a star straight away because they have tweeted using the hashtag EW2022. So what it says is lots of great events, da, da, da. Looking forward to hear some great tips. So I'm going to retweet that for you because it makes me look good. Okay. But if I want to reply, I will just say thank you. And then you click reply. Okay, so that's just to get you into Twitter, just to see what we're looking at here. This is my Twitter profile. So the most important thing that I can tell you today is make sure your bio stands out from the rest. So make sure you have a really good headshot or your logo. A really good headshot if you're a small business owner or sole trader really makes a difference. So as you can see from my headshot, I went to John Murray Photos and I said, look, I want to look like I know my stuff, I mean business, but also I wanted to keep that little mischievous glint in my eye. And I think he captured it perfectly, don't you? It makes me look approachable. It makes me look professional. So get a really good photos because it does make a difference. So there's my Twitter handle at Tweeting Goddess. And then it has Sprinkler of Twitter Magic, Community Officer at We Do, which is my new role, and a host of Sober St. Patrick's Day, which is happening next week. I'm also a nice people collector. So I put a little bit of my personality in there as well. And then the director of Women's Inspire Network, which is my women's network. I'm also a TEDx speaker and a friend of Bill W, which is a code for being sober. So that's just a little bit about me. And then you put your website in, you put your location, but really make it stand out. Put a really good header photo up here about what you do and a really good headshot. That's the main thing. But as you can see, there's my Twitter Magic newsletter at the top. So if you want to do that and create a newsletter in Twitter, I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so we're going to go over here to the left. I'm just going to check the chat there for a second. Enterprise. Oh, sorry. I was told it was something else. Sorry about that. So it's EW 2022. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Right, we'll use the different hashtag. Okay, so when I asked for the hashtag, that's the hashtag I was given. Sorry about that. Okay, so if we go here to the left, click more, and then you go to newsletters. If you click on newsletters, so all of you should have this. If you don't have newsletter function, that means you might have to update your app, or you might not have it. So if someone doesn't have it, sorry, it just means it's coming soon to you, okay? Because it's only kind of launched. So if you click here on newsletters, I'll show you where I got there first. So if you go down here, click more, and click newsletters, you can start a newsletter for free. So if you click find out more, and you click start a newsletter for free. You can do this along with me if you want. You just click in with your Twitter account. So you log in with Twitter. And there we go. I'm on my 19th issue, as you can see, but it will take you to a page like this. And I can go through some things that I did, that I tweeted during the week or whatever, and I can throw them in here. And I'll just show you an example. So if I connect my source, which they don't seem to have done, I'll do it again. Disconnect. I'm going to connect it again. So you can actually connect your Twitter. Just click connect now. And that is going to bring you to this feed here, which shows you all the tweets that I've kind of engaged with during the week. And what you can do is you can actually bring this over into your newsletter. I can bring our event, which is coming next week. So you just click in, drag it over, and then you can, I can bring the interview I did with John. There's a little box there. You just drag it over. So you're creating your little newsletter. You can say, welcome to this week's newsletter, or whatever you want to say. And then you can add links. So let's say I find an article that I find really cool. I can put media in. So I can put an image in here. So I can let's just use this one for now. International Women's Day. We have an event tonight if anyone's around. It's my pinned tweet if you want to have a look. You can actually just upload an image into the newsletter. So it's really cool. So it's a really great way to create a newsletter And then you can, when you finish creating your newsletter, you simply, hang on one second. Yeah, so when you have your newsletter, you can go and you can publish the newsletter. So once it's finished, I'm just going to get rid of this. I can't seem to get down there, but anyway, you get the idea. You can actually just have an issue. So I'll just go through an old issue. Okay, so here's the issues. So I have 98 subscribers and you can see the click rates and all of that. But if I want to go into that one again, I can actually just click into it and I can share it out on Twitter. And then what people will get when I share this to Twitter, if I share this out, it goes out like this. So there's my, and you can edit this and then it comes out. So it's going out to my Twitter followers and then they can subscribe as well. So if you just go to my profile, you can actually subscribe to my newsletter. So there you go. That's a Twitter newsletter. And then you can also see how many subscribers you have, your insights. It's really, really cool. Really, really cool. You can click create if you want to create a new one. And it's just great the way you can go through the tweets that maybe. Another thing I do as well is I bookmark tweets to put into my newsletter. So I'll show you how to do that, right? So let's say you're on Twitter and you see a tweet that you like. So let's go and do one here. So let's say I'm on Twitter and I see a tweet that I like. So let's say this tweet here, Happy International Women's Day to all you amazing ladies. So if you go to the bottom of that tweet and you click this button here, you can bookmark that tweet for later. So if you click bookmark, later on, you can go to your bookmarks and I can keep tweets that I find interesting. So for example, these are all the tweets. There it is there. These are all the tweets that I really liked this week and I can put them into my newsletter. So this one from Richard, I can just click here, copy the link to the tweet and then put it into my new newsletter. So I can put it in here. This is my Twitter Magic newsletter. Click the link, paste it in here. And there is Richard's tweet added to my Twitter Magic newsletter. So what I've done is created a newsletter. And what I call it is a newsletter that's going to be the highlights of my week as such. So then I can just go into my bookmarks and the ones that I've liked this week, I can actually, I can actually put them into my newsletter. So here's one from Lacken Trails. Like there's all different ones that I bookmarked because I really like them. So it's a great way to look back on tweets that you probably can't engage with right now, but you could engage with in the future. I think somebody has done a tweet actually. Let me just check. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is the first person that came in today. Thank you so much. So you've done a tweet. So I'm going to click follow you and thank you. Thanks for following. And I'll go back to where I was. And I gave the wrong hashtag. So actually the hashtag is, we need to use a different one. Sorry about that. So EW 2022. So I'll just, what I can do there is to help you, I can quote this tweet instead of retweeting it. I can go the hashtag E2022 if you want to follow along. Okay. That'll just help you get on that hashtag, okay? So that's how you would check your notifications to see what's coming in. And I can see the people who are tweeting, which is really cool. So that's bookmarks and that's newsletters. So another thing I want to show you is analytics while we're here. And think about Twitter, like, a lot of you already know Twitter, but think about Twitter as your very own army of marketeers that you want to reach. Like there is a more button here. And if you click on that and go into analytics, you might not even have that set up, but you can click on that and it will show all your analytics. As you can see, I've been very busy this week. So not many tweets, but my followers are still going up. See, I can also show you what works well on Twitter. So my most popular tweets, you can go to here to the top tweets. And what was my top tweet? I love you all. Isn't that bizarre? So the tweets that are the most popular are not really sales tweets. Do you see that? They're not really sales tweets. It's like when I was out for my walk, pictures of the beach, about my Wi-Fi, but it's all positive stuff. There's nothing negative there. So if you are, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. So if you are on Twitter and you're a business owner, what really works well on Twitter is sharing your knowledge, assisting others, being kind, and just being yourself and just being authentic. I know we use that word a lot, but just being yourself, being kind, assisting others, sharing your knowledge works really, really well on Twitter. People on Twitter want to learn. So if you are an expert in what you do, start showing off what you do. Like do a little video and say, this is how you do a bookmark for a tweet. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. And just by doing those little videos, people will see you as the go-to expert in your space. And that they're the people that do really well on Twitter, are people who are experts in their niche. If you are in an area like Derry and you're an organization, what you could do is show pictures of Derry, like show the snow in Derry, show the sunset, sunrise, show off Derry, and use the hashtag Derry, because that way people will know you for being in Derry, and also will probably come to you if anything ever happens in Derry. Journalists will come to you. And this is another big tip I'm going to give you today. So another tip I'm going to give you is, let's say you want some PR and you want some listen to great tweets. Thank you. Thank you so much. You can't listen to tweets, but like, yeah. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is NW cybersecurity, and folks, cybersecurity is so important. Everybody make sure that your business is secure. So there's a little plug for you. Definitely, cybersecurity is so important. So if you just click tweet, thanks for the tweet. I can say that. And also it says that you follow me as well, which is lovely. See there, it says follow me. Right, so I'm going to show you something else. So let's say you need some PR for your business and you are an expert in what you do. If you go to the search box up here, okay, one of the top questions I get asked is, how do I find my customers? So for example, if I went and put the hashtag Derry, if you're a local business, I can find every single person who has mentioned the word Derry. And what I can do is I can follow the people. I can follow some of the people who are actually tweeting on the hashtag Derry. These are all people who have mentioned Derry. So you could follow some of these people. And then another thing you can do is, if you want to look at the tweets later on from today, like if you want to go in and have a look at the tweets, so it's EW 2022. So if you want to go and search for EW 2022, you will see all of the tweets, all of the people. Thank you very much, Patricia. She did a lovely tweet for me. Thank you. So thanks, Patricia. So she did a lovely tweet. So I'm going to retweet that because it makes me look really good. And if you click the latest tweets, you'll see all of the people who have used the hashtag today. So they are all potential customers of yours, okay? Because they're in the Derry area and they're also taking part. So they're people just like me and you. They wouldn't be here learning like you are unless they were just like you. So hang out with people like that, you know. Another thing I want to show you is, if you do want PR, you see this journal request hashtag. If you click on the journal request hashtag, click return, and then click the latest tweets, you will see lots and lots of journalists who have a deadline. Anyone out there who speaks Ukrainian who could help me with translation. I'm actually going to retweet that because that, you know, there might be someone in my network who speaks Ukrainian. Looking for people who've changed looking for someone who's used, okay, so there's all different kind of journal requests there. Look to speak to some experts on public sector IT and how they can improve. There you go, cybersecurity people, there is one for you, okay? So you could, where is she based? Let's see, so she's in, let's click on her. So parenting mag, okay, so let's just, so that's one for you. So our little, we're going to do a live thing now. Hang on a second. So the cybersecurity person, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There you are. So NW Cyber. Okay, I'm going to go back to the tweet. And I'm going to tag you. NW Cyber Security, Cyber, NW Cyber. Okay, NW Cyber. I'm going to go back down to that one about cyber security. Cyber. There we go. So I can reply to that, tag NW. There we go. I can just say might be able to help, okay? Because maybe you can't. Okay, so I'm giving you an opportunity just by seeing a journal request, which doesn't apply to me, but it applies to you and what you do. So if you see a journal request, and if you go through them every day, they're there every day. Go and see, they might be looking for an expert in graphic design. They might be looking for an expert on women in business. They might be looking for an expert on the dairy. You know, you just don't know. So just keep an eye on it. And then if you can't help them, tag them with someone who can help them. And that's just a nice tip for today that you can take away. Ian, thank you, Ian. I hope that helps. Sorry about that, Ian. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is Twitter Spaces. Okay, so Twitter Spaces is a new feature on Twitter. Now, I can't do it on the desktop, but I have to show you on the, I have to show you on my mobile. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So I'm going to show you on my mobile. I will have to turn my phone on, but if any of you are on Twitter at the moment, I'll show you what it looks like. Twitter Spaces is social audio. So basically what it is, it's like a radio, if you're listening to the radio, but the conversation you can actually get involved in. So let's say someone is interviewing someone on the radio. I'm going to show you now. So if we go into our Twitter, if I go into my Twitter, so this is my Twitter. So as you can see, do you see the circles at the top? I'm so glad I got my nails done. You see the circles at the top? They are Twitter Spaces. So if any of you are on Twitter, if you go into, now make sure you're on the latest version of the app, but if you're on Twitter, you could actually go into one of these rooms. So I could go into this 24-hour International Women's Day room. So watch this. Okay. So you just click on the space that you want to go into. And there are people in here. So I'm going to join the space. And
right now. So because I live by myself in Paris. So it's been like a really big struggle for me, you know, like meeting people from different parts of the world, you know, like trying to identify myself, struggling a little bit, which is...
I'm just going to leave. But that is Twitter Spaces. You can join a conversation about anything like this one here. I know Patricia won't like me promoting this. This is one website one for later. So I can set reminder. That just came up in my feed. So there's a Twitter Space. I can set reminder to join that Twitter Space later. And you will see me doing Twitter Space at 8 p.m. every Thursday night. So do check out. If you see my profile, if you see, like if I go into Hoseline, because I know he's in that space. So if I go into Hoseline, so Hoseline Main, he is in Twitter Spaces at the moment, and you can tell because now he was there a second ago, but normally this would have a little kind of vibrating purple circle around it when he's live in a space. So if you see my circle going purple, then click and see where I am, and you can join the space with me and join the conversation. So yeah, so that's Twitter Spaces, and not a lot of people know that exists. Like if you click here, there's a little icon here beside the search. See this one? If you click on that, you'll see all of the spaces that are happening right now. And there's a lot of International Women's Day spaces. Now, there are not a lot of Irish or UK on Twitter Spaces yet. It's a lot of Americans, but it's really good for expanding your network. It's really good for meeting new people and getting to know new people and learning. You can learn a lot of stuff. There'll be Twitter Spaces about tips for getting your business noticed, freelancer tips and stuff like that, which are the ones I do. But yeah, I hope that helps. So that's newsletter. I hope you understand that. So that okay. People can subscribe to your newsletter. It'll feature at the top of your Twitter. Patricia, you should definitely have one of them. And then also the bookmark feature, and then the Twitter Spaces. So I hope that's what I was covering today. So I'm here for questions now. Any questions you have about Twitter? So, and And if anyone wants to join our event tonight, here's the link. I'll just get the link for you because it's free and it's my Women's Inspire network. And we're actually ramping up things now. So we'll be doing actually a lot more events as well. You can join us. There's a special offer today. If you want to join, you use IWD 2022 if you want to get a discount on annual membership. But come to this event for free tonight. It'll be fun. It's just networking, and there'll be a panel discussion about how to get taken seriously. Because I know for me, when I started my business, I didn't get taken seriously. So I am here for questions now. So are there any questions? Gemma, are you there? Are there any questions?
I'm here, yeah. No, there's no questions coming through the Q&A yet. But if anybody has any, we would love to hear them. Can I just say that your presentation was absolutely brilliant as well. Very informative. And I love the interactive element. So I think everybody would agree.
Yeah, look, it's nice to kind of just do it. So I'll tell you what, because there's no questions, I'm just going to help just one more thing, okay? Because I could stay here all day, obviously. But, you know, really, can you do everything you spoke about in your mobile phone? Yes, except let me just check the newsletter feature for you there. That's a question from Geraldine. I don't think you can do the newsletter feature. No, you can't. I'll show you, sorry. Yeah, you can't do the newsletter feature on your phone. Most things you will find here in the drop-down menu when you click on your profile, but the bookmarks you can do, and Twitter lists are great as well. So for example, I'm going to show you how to do a Twitter list. And this makes all the difference with Twitter because people do get overwhelmed. So if I go into Twitter and let's say I'm going to go down to the cybersecurity. Ian, where is he? Ian, are you on 2 accounts? Okay, this is Ian, right? So here, let's say I want to keep an eye on Ian and just remember him from today. So what I can do is I can click on the 3 dots and I can add him to a list. So I have loads of Twitter lists, right? So I'm going to create a new list for today. So today's list is called W 2022. And then I can make it private or public. But when I make this list, I click next. And then I just add Ian to that. And then Ian will get a little notification saying Samantha Kelly just added you to a Twitter list. And I have Twitter lists from different, like I can add Patricia. So we put Patricia in, click the 3 dots, add Patricia to my list so that later on I can keep an eye on you to see how you're getting on. And also if I want to find you again, because sometimes I might see a PR request and I go, oh, what was that girl on my list? So if you want to find lists, you click more and click on lists. And I've got all kinds of different lists here. There are Twitter spaces. Thank you. Just got a cup of tea delivered to me. I've cool, interesting people. So everybody wants to get on that list. I have some locked lists. See the locked lists? These are people that I don't want anyone else to see these lists. And another thing, if you're composing a tweet, just a quick little how to do a tweet. Just always say, hi, everyone. Blah, 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 and then put the link to whatever it is you're trying to promote. Hi, our event is booking up fast. Join us. And International Women's Day is trending today. So International Women's, if you want to use a hashtag, just use a hashtag. So you put the hashtag before the word, Women's Day. And then what you can do if you want to get more traction, so you can put the link to the event, but also you can add an image. So this is where you add an image. You can add a GIF. You can make a Twitter poll. So I can ask a question and then just have 4 different choices, make a Twitter poll, which is another lesson, another day altogether. And then I can put an emoji or I can schedule a tweet. So I'm going to schedule this at 8 p.m. I'm going to show you how to schedule a tweet. No, it's not at 8 p.m. Oh my God, it's 9 p.m. Gee. Okay, right. So there's my event. So it's free. So I'm going to copy the link and then I'm going to put it into my tweet. But I'm going to also add an image because an image gets retweeted 200 times more than a tweet with no image. Okay, so there is my Twitter size image. Put it in there. And then you put the link to book. So I always say have a call to action when you do a tweet. Book now. Now, Twitter is not about sales all the time, by the way. It's actually about, I mean, this is a salesy type tweet. So I'm going to schedule this for later. So I'm going to schedule, see this little thing here? You can schedule the tweet for later. So what day is today? The 8th. Should know that by heart by now. And then I'm going to schedule it for, what time is it now? Okay, we're going to schedule it for tonight, just after the news. Okay. And we're just going to click confirm. And there we go. You can schedule. So that's going to go out tonight, just before my event. And that will be just in time for lastminute.coms to come. So yeah, there you go. Okay, more questions. How many hashtags should we use in a tweet? 2, 3 maximum. It's not Instagram, guys. So Twitter is always 2 hashtags, maximum 3. Okay, I have a question here as well. Do you have a Twitter strategy? Do you use multiple accounts? Get lost in rabbit. Yeah, I don't use multiple accounts. I actually, Laura, thank you for that question. So the question is, do you have a Twitter strategy? Do you have multiple accounts separating personal, multiple businesses? I sometimes get lost down a rabbit hole when answering hashtags or when searching hashtags. Okay, so how I would did I have a Twitter strategy? No, I did not. I did not. I'll be honest, I didn't. I just all kind of happened by accident, but not really, if you know what I mean. But now if I had a client, there would definitely be a Twitter strategy. And my strategy is to start engaging with people. So even, for example, putting Ian on my Twitter list, that is part of my strategy, is to keep an eye on people that I think I might be able to help in the future, or that might need me in the future, or that might become an ally. You know, so that's part of my strategy, is to make people feel special. When you make people feel special, like Ian, tell me how you felt when I added you to that Twitter list. If you could just answer me in the chat there, Ian, how you felt when I added you to the Twitter list. And now I'm going to add you to a different Twitter list, and I want you to tell me how it makes you feel. Okay. So I'll go find Ian. You're getting loads of attention here. What's the story? So Ian, if I add you to a different Twitter list, I want you to put in the comments how it makes you feel when I put you in this list, which is a different one, right? Okay, I just added you to a different Twitter list, Ian. I want you to tell me how it makes you feel. That's why I was interested. Okay, how does it make you feel now, the one I just added you to? And I'll tell everybody the list I added them to in a minute. So just refresh and check your notifications, Ian, and let me know how you feel after me adding you to that Twitter list. So part of my strategy, Laura, is to, when you make people feel special, they will become an ally. They will start looking at your tweets. They'll follow you. I have a list of cool people, right? And when I add people to the cool people list, he feels cool, right? I added him to the cool, interesting people list, right? So it made him feel like noticed, I suppose, as well. So when people feel noticed and feel like special, they are going to follow you back. They're going to have a nosy at your website. You're going to be on their radar. So stay top of mind. It's about staying top of mind. So even if I go and check in a few weeks' time and see how Ian's getting on, and I retweet one of his tweets, it puts me back top of mind, that Ian will go, oh yeah, Jesus, I forgot we have a meeting tonight about social media. I must tell them about Tweeting Goddess. You just don't know. You just don't know. It could be timing, and consistency is another one. Getting lost down the rabbit hole, Laura, this is why Twitter lists are so valuable. I just focus on the Twitter lists, and I just focus on helping people, retweeting them, giving as much as I can. And trust me, when I have something then that I need retweeted, they do it automatically, you know? So yeah, Gemma, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So yes, so I hope that answers your question, Laura. There's so much more I can tell you, you know, but I mean, you know, you need a workshop, but definitely I have loads of free videos on my YouTube. I have a beginner's guide to Twitter on my website. And yeah, so, and there's lots of articles there as well that might be able to help you. Yeah.
It's been absolutely brilliant, Samantha. Thank you so much. We could listen
You're
to you all day. I could anyway. I'm pretty sure everybody else would agree. But I think
Thank
that's
you.
all the questions we have for now. But definitely encourage everybody to look at the event tonight that you're hosting, and
Yeah, come along. And just as well, one more thing I didn't actually mention, I'm so sorry, value, give value. Okay. So give tips. Maybe if you write an article, share tips, like ask questions, do little Twitter polls. I mean, people are on Twitter to learn, to hear the latest news as it happens, and to be inspired. And don't underestimate the power of hope. So even if you see a sunset in Derry, a beautiful sunset, take a picture and say, feeling a bit of hope after hearing the news today or whatever, that kind of thing really works well.
great.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, and thank you to the council as well. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And I'll see you, everybody, on Twitter.
Great. Thank you so much, Samantha. I really, really appreciate that. That was absolutely brilliant.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.